Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue the practical sessions on SQL commands. Students, in the previous video we had learnt a lot of commands and we saw how we write those commands, that is, how the syntax is actually written for those commands and how the commands work for us. We saw two DDL commands, that is data definition language commands. One was create database command and the second was create table command. Then we saw the DML commands. The select statements are the DML commands, and we saw how we can use a select statement to display the details of a table. We used some keywords and clauses with the select statement. You have seen that we can display the details of a table on the basis of certain criteria using where clause, and we also some operators were used like logical operators and, or, and not, and we also used some relational operators, that is greater than sign, less than sign, equal to sign, not equal to sign. Students, in the previous given class we saw in that video that we can use greater than and lesser than signs together to make a not equal to. You did see it. Let us see it again and we'll see one more sign that is used for not equal to. Both of them are relational operator signs. So let us write this. Select all from, say the name of our file was student, the table's name was student. So select all from student where I had written, say I write where marks not equal to 92.00. See, if I write this, what happens? It gives the result. What result it gives? It gives all the details, that is admission number, roll number, because I have given here a star, but for whom? Every details for that given or those given students whose marks is not equal to 92. The same given statement could have been written in this given form, that is select star from student where marks not equal to, see exclamatory sign and equal to sign, 92. This also works. So students, both work in the same way. You would have seen no connection trying to connect because we had not worked with this MySQL screen for more than hours, for 24 hours. Then I have started it again. It was open but connectivity was lost. So it again connected with the server of MySQL. So this is something which has come because of the connectivity part. But the actual answer is the table which we see for the command which we gave. Now see students, there are two ways we can write for not equal to. One is less than sign, greater than sign, and second is exclamatory sign with equal to. So these are the two ways, please remember it. Then students, one more way of writing not, I could have written select star from student where marks, so I write where not, see what I write, not marks equal to 92.00. Bracket, I have given marks equal to 92.00 in a bracket and then I give a semicolon. See, this also works. So students, select star from student where not marks equal to 92.00 is equivalent to select star from student where marks not equal to 92.0. Both are same, but then if when we write marks not equal to, we should use those given signs which we used earlier, that is combination of less than greater than sign or combination of exclamatory with equal to sign. You cannot use a not word, logical operator not after marks. That is marks not, not not equal to, that cannot be used. If you want to use the logical operator, you will have to write the not first and then you will have to put the bracket over the condition. Then only it works. So students, I think it is clear to you. Now students, we'll learn a new given thing. It is known as null. Now what is null, we'll first understand. To understand null, let us make one more record. So I am making one more record, that is inserting one more record into our table. So I am writing insert into student table values. And what value I insert in the students table? Say I insert the value admission number, then I insert say roll number, then I insert a name, say I give the name Ajay, then after giving the name, suppose I don't know that student's address. So as I don't know the address of that student, I will put a null here. What null means? Null means I want to keep the address empty now, and a valid value in MySQL for empty is null. You remember students, in Python we had none, N-O-N-E, none. Here instead of none we use null, N-U-L-L, null. Now maybe I also don't know the address of the student, so I'll write null here. So I don't even say the SDOB, that is date of birth of the student, therefore I write null here, and even I don't know the marks of the student, so I write a null here. So three things are not known to me. We know the name, but details have not come from the school in which he used to maybe read earlier. So when details would come, then we will be inserting these details. So, or I should say updating these details. So if I use this given statement, what happens? See, our query works. The query works. And what data do we have then in our table? So let us go to the data part. Let us understand what data we have. How we'll do it? By using the select statement. We'll say select everything from student. Now when I write select everything from student, details of each and every student is shown to us. And for Ajay, the details is address null, date of birth null, and marks is also null. Now when address is null, date of birth is null, marks is null, suppose I want to check how many students are there, or I want to check the details of all those students whose address is null. How shall I write that? I will write in this way. Select all from student table where S address is null. See, only Ajay's address is null, so details of Ajay is seen by us. We can display the details of Ajay in this way. I can write another given thing here. I can write instead of is a keyword. I can use is with null. Now I will give a equal to here. Let us see whether equal to works or not. See, empty set. So where address equal to null doesn't give the answer. So remember, whenever we are to work with null, we'll have to use the keyword is. We'll write S address is null. We'll not write S address equal to null. And see, null should never be within quotes. Null is a special word. It is a keyword. It means empty, and it should be always without quotes. So I think students, you have understood about null. Now students, we'll move forward and we will try to update the details of Ajay. Now how do we update the details of Ajay? How we would say that Ajay, your address has been received from the school in which you read earlier, and we are going to update it. So if Ajay's data has to be updated, how we would update it? There is a command, special command for updating a already written record, and that command is update command. So we'll write update in this way, and then we'll write the name of the table. So which table to update? Student table. What we are to do in this? We are to set, say, S address is equal to say Tupudana. S address is equal to, say his address is Tupudana, so we'll write S address is equal to Tupudana. I got the address, and for whom I am setting? I am setting the address for whom I am setting the address? I am setting the address for Ajay. So I'll write where name, and we have the name as S name is equal to Ajay. So this is a way we can use, and give a semicolon sign. What would happen? See a row they found where name is Ajay and they changed the address there. Now if I would have written Rohit where name is S name is Rohit, then Dorinda and Ratu Road both would have got changed to Tupudana, because two students are there with Rohit. So name always does not work. Maybe I have one more student say whose name is Ajay, so both would have been changed. So we should take a unique given thing to change the details. What is the unique thing here? We have admission number, we have roll number, they are unique for the given student. So how to change using roll number or admission number? I would write like this: update student set. What to set? Say we want to this time as change the SDOB, that is date of birth. Suppose I know his date of birth, it has been received from the earlier school where he read, and we are writing his date of birth to be 09 and 30. It says 30 September his date of birth is. But for whom? Where I can use anything. I can use, say, where roll number is equal to 7. So Ajay's data would be changed. I could have even written here where, say, SDOB is equal to, or I should say is null. Now where SDOB is null means we all know now Ajay's SDOB is null, so it should be changed. Let us use this, because roll number I know you would have understood how to use. I could have written there where admission number is equal to 1900. So these things you know. It is bit unique by using where SDOB is null. Let us see how the change occurs. See, the change occurred very easily. Now if I want to now display the details of the table where address is null, so we will get no answer. Why? Address had already been changed to Tupudana. So we will not get the address as null now, and therefore no records is being selected. So address has been changed. So if we see every student's details, we will find that Ajay's address is Tupudana and his date of birth is 30th September 2003. So we have completely done this. We have understood this. And marks is also null. Let us try to change the marks. Again, to change the marks, we'll use update. And we will write here what? We'll write here update student. We'll write set marks is equal to, maybe his marks we have received and it is 80.00. Marks is equal to 80.00, where marks is null. Changed. And if I now see the record, I'll get the record here with marks as 80. So you know how to update the records. Students, we have updated the record on a given conditions. Sometimes we also write this sort of update student, okay, and we write set, say marks is equal to 90.00, and we would give no condition at all. Do you know what would happen? Let us see. If we give no conditions, see all the records that we had, all the tuples that we had, everyone's marks, each one's marks have been now changed to 90. See students, everyone's marks have been changed to 90. So when we don't give a condition, then each and every record gets updated. If we give a condition, maybe one record would get updated, or maybe more than one, that is multiple records may be updated. So these can be done using update statement. So what is the utility of update, students? An already existing records data can be changed using update statement. Students, this is a very important topic for board examination, so please read it properly. Now we have worked with update. We now know how to update the record. Now if we want to delete a record, how do we delete a record? We delete a record using this statement. See, delete means removing a record. We write delete from EMP, and now it is student, it is not EMP. Delete from student. If we write only delete from student, every record would be deleted, students. But we will give a condition where delete from student where say S name is equal to Rohit. Let us see what happens. 2 rows affected, so 2 records have been deleted. And if you now see the records of a table student, you will not find Rohit there. So you have deleted the records of Rohit. So in this way delete works. If we would have written delete from student, all the records would have been deleted. But you know, it would have been deleted. But there are some commands which a database administrator enjoys. We would not enjoy maybe. The database administrator would enjoy. And he can again bring back whatever change he had done. So when we use delete command, what will happen? All the data that were deleted would not be shown in the table. They would be out of the table. But the memory for them would already be reserved. That is, that memory would still be reserved. And if we don't want to reserve the memory, we can use a command called truncate. Truncate means we are dead sure that yes, we would be deleting everything. We don't want it back. So when we don't want anything back, we would use truncate command. But if we are not fully sure that the delete which we are doing is permanent, it may be needed back, we use delete command. We then don't use truncate. Delete deletes the thing, but keeps the memory space for the things deleted, so that when it comes back it can again be accommodated. But truncate deletes everything and it doesn't keep the memory, because it knows the things deleted is a permanent thing to be deleted. It is never to be brought back into the table. Second difference between delete and truncate is delete can delete one record or say a set of record depending upon a condition. It may also delete all the records if we don't give any condition. But truncate always deletes all the records of the table. Each and every record of the table would be deleted. So if I give the command truncate from student, every record from student would get deleted. But I will not use this now. You can use it for your experiment. So if you use truncate command, you will see that everything has been deleted. I will not use it here because I have to do many more things and show many more things to you. So students, you learnt about delete command, you learnt about truncate command, you learnt about update command, and you learned today about the 2 new ways of using not. One was the exclamatory equal to, the greater than and less than was already given in the previous video, and you also knew how to use the logical operator not for giving a negative thing, that is for using not equal to. So this you have understood. Now student, we will do some pattern matching. Now what is pattern matching? Pattern matching means, for example, I want to display details of those given tuples whose S name, that is whose student's name starts with S. How do we do that? Because say I don't remember the full name of the student, I only remember that the student's name started with S. So how I can display the details of all those students whose name starts with S? The command is, we'll write select all from student where S name, and this is the special word like. Whenever you have to do such a pattern matching, that is name starts with something, name ends with something, say the second character or a given character of the name was that, or this, you can use like for it. It is known as pattern matching. Now our particular question here is, I want to display the name of that given student whose name starts with S. So we'll write here single quote S%. Now what is this student? Why I wrote S%? It means that the first character of the name should be S, and after S anything can be done, can be there, or nothing can be there. Means percent is not countable. You cannot count that after S only one character would be there or two characters would be there. Percentage means here that it can have characters after S, or there may not be any characters after that S. So after S we may have one character, two character, n number of characters, or even no characters. So let us see here, but our condition here is that names should start with S. See, Suraj is there because his name has started with S. Can we give a command to display the records or tuples where name stops with or ends with, say, H? So name ends with H. What we'll do? We'll write percentage first and then H. So if I write percentage first and then H, what it means? It means name should have anything before, but the end character, the last character should be H. Let us see. You see, Akhilesh is there whose name ends with H, and it has been shown by our command, SQL command. Okay, now students, you understood that percentage means there could be anything there or even nothing there. No problem in it. But if I means you cannot count how many things. There can be anything or there cannot be even a single thing. But H should be at the end in the second case, and in the first case S should be at the beginning. Now suppose my question would be that we want to display the details of those given tuples whose second character in address is A. Now second character in address is A. So what should be written here? We'll write select star from student where S address like second character. Now percentage would not work for us. We'll have one more symbol here. We'll have underscore. Underscore, student, is different from percentage. Underscore is countable. What I mean here is that name has something, and that something is one thing. That is, it should have something there. And how many things would be there? One character before A. Because my question was name, or I should say address, should have A as the second character. So underscore actually resembles or shows that anything should be before A, and that anything is countable. There should be only one thing before A. The second thing should be A itself, and after A we would have a percentage sign. That means there can be anything or there cannot be anything. Percentage does its work. Let us see. You see, both the details have come where address is having second character as A. In Kanke Road we have KA, so second character is A, and in Lalpur we have LA, so second character is A. So students have understood how we put these sorts of given pattern matchings. If somebody says second last character should be, say, U, so how will put second last character? We will say anything at the beginning, and there should be something at the last, that is last should have an underscore here, and before the last there should be a. So second last is A. Students, you can try other combinations because you now know what underscore means, what actually percentage means, and how we use them. You see, we have Kanke Road here because I gave last, second last is A. So second last we have A in Kanke Road. So Kanke Road comes here. If we had to go for third last, what we would have done? So if we had to go for third last, we would have written two underscores because underscores are countable. So you see, two underscores I have given, and here maybe I write P. So I actually am aiming for Lalpur. So I would be pressing the enter key and see Lalpur comes because third last is P, and I have given two underscores after P, and underscores are countable. So two things after P, and before P there could be anything in the address. So students, I think you have understood, and the rest of the permutation combination you would do with it. Thanks a lot for understanding this. Like. Let us now go for one more keyword, and that keyword is in. Now how shall I use, or we should use in? Let us see. Suppose I want to see the details of only those students whose roll number is either 1 or 3. So what should I write? I'll write select star from student where roll number is equal to 1 or roll number is equal to 3. So you have to write this given statement and see 1 and 3's record you are seeing. Students, let us understand here. Could we give here a and instead of or and then expect the same result? No. Why? When we give and, it means for the same given tuple, at the same given tuple means for Suraj, say for Suraj only, roll number should be 1 as well as roll number there only for Suraj should be 3. Is it possible? Suraj would have only one roll number, so he would have either 1 or 3, so and would not work there. We'll have to use a or, and we used it. You have seen in the earlier example. Now, but it looked very long, the code looked very long. I can use a keyword called in. I can use a keyword for the same thing, and it would be shorter enough. I'll say select star from student where roll number in 1, 3. That means display details of those students whose roll number is within this given list. That is, which matches this given list. So how we give a match? We give using the keyword in. In what it does? It checks for the records of the table and matches it with all the roll numbers in the given list here. We will give a semicolon and see we get the same result. So in actually helps to shorten the code. Instead of using where roll number is equal to 1 or roll number is equal to 3, I used only where roll number in 1, 3, and the work was done. Isn't it a short code? Isn't it easy to write? Yes, students, it is easy. So you understand the importance of in keyword. We could have done our work without in keyword, but in shortens the code, helps us in writing smaller code. If somebody says, I want to see the details of only those given students whose admission number is either 1001 or 1213. So, or how shall we write that? We'll write in this way, where admission number in 1001 or 1213. Maybe I also write few more admission numbers which is even not there in the list. There is no complaint given by this statement. It would be executed for the things which matches with the records of the table. That is, if even 4500 and 9876 is not there in the table, it would not be displayed, and 1001 and 1213 is in the table, so records for them would be displayed. No problem. See? So computer is not going to show error that you have given 4500 9876, it is not in the list. Computer only checks the things. If it is in the list as well as in the table, it will display. Otherwise it will not display. It will ignore things which are not there in the table but in the list. So students, I think you have understood this in command. Let us now see some functions. We'll see some functions here. Suppose I want to see some functions which work on this table. The first function which we'll see is count. We'll write count star, that is count the records from student table. Now when I give count the records from student table, it counts and it shows there are 3 records. And we will also check whether there are 3 records or not. We'll write select all from student. You see, there are 3 records here. We have 1, 3, 7. 3 roll numbers, 3 records. It counted it properly, no problem. Suppose I want to find the details. Say I want to first insert one or two more given records here. Let us insert records. We'll write insert into student values, and what are the things? Maybe one admission number 2000, maybe roll number is 9, then we will give a name as Adhir, and see, name we are giving, but it should always be given in quote. Adhir is the name, and then maybe his date of birth is 2003 August, say 14th, and his marks is 49, very less. Okay, and let us, column count doesn't match. Have I not? Okay, address has not been given. See, I have not given the address, so let us give the address also. Say address for this boy is main road, and then I give. Now it works. Maybe I want to insert one more. Say this boy's name is Suresh. His admission number is say 2010. His roll number is say 19. Say he also lives in main road, but his date of birth is say 18th of July, and he has secured 94 instead of 49, suppose. So I made two more records. I put a enter key and records have been inserted. Now to see the records, we will write select star from student, and see, we have 5 records now. We will now do some, we would now use some functions. One function we used, count. If somebody asks you what is the work of count, you will say count counts the number of records. I can even write select count say roll number, no problem. Even if I write roll number, what would happen? If I write roll number, it is also going to give us 5, because 5 records are there, therefore 5 roll numbers. Select count roll number from student, 5. Suppose I insert one more record, but I don't give a roll number there. What do you mean? I would give a null there. So insert into student values. Say we have an admission number, but we don't know the roll number now. We know the name. Suppose we know the name, we know the address also. Maybe we know his date of birth also, but we don't know his roll number, because the class teacher has not assigned the roll number yet. Maybe we know his marks also. So if I use now the select command here and we say count roll number, see, even if we have 6 records, but we have only 5 roll numbers given to the students. So do you understand the difference of count star and count roll number? If in roll number there would be a null, it would not be counted. But record for that given student, the whole record would be counted. That means if I use say count star instead of roll number, the same table would give us 6, but roll number they would give 5. Why they are giving in this way? Because select star from student has 6 records but 5 roll number. The last roll number, the last student, that is Aman's roll number, has not yet been given. So I think students, you have understood the use of count. Let us now use some more functions. Let us say select max, say marks from student. See, if I give select max marks from students, see 94, because 94 is the marks which is maximum from the students. Now if I use this select sname comma max marks from student, what do you think what would happen? I think there would be an error. Let us see. No, Easily it works. Why it works easily? Because Suraj is the student who has achieved the maximum marks. Am I right or am I wrong? Students, I am wrong. See, Suraj is not the student who has got the maximum marks. What does MySQL do for me? It somehow brings a name and it somehow brings the marks, the maximum marks, and shows it to us. But our answer is incorrect. And therefore I was saying that there would be an error. So students, remember these type of select statements where SNAME has to give 6 given values but max marks has only one value 94, there would be a mismatch and result would be erroneous. So never use such sort of functions. Never use such sort of max marks with the field name which can give more than one value. We will simply use select max mark from students. Understood? So this is how we would be using it. In the next given video, we will see group functions, how to group the functions, then we will understand this to some extent. Now, we used max, let us use min, select min, and then what we will give? Min marks from student. So min marks from student, see 49. You can even use select average marks from student. It will average out the marks and show the marks to you from student. So you got the average marks. You can even give select some marks from student. What it does, it displays the sum. How many functions did you learn? You learned sum, average, min, max, count. So these are the functions which are there in your course. You should understand these functions. They are known as group functions, or they are also called aggregate functions because they work on a set of row. They work on a set of row. So this is group functions or aggregate functions. So students, today we have learned many things. We have learned many things. One more thing I would be showing here is how to order the details. Now order the details means we have something in the table in a given order of roll number. Say I want the order to be according to the names, that is dictionary order of name. How to change and show that? You cannot change the table's details, but you can show the details on the screen according to your wish. So you cannot change the order of the records in the table itself, but you can show the records of the table according to the order you wish. How to do that? Let us first see the records in our table. So we will write select star from student. So when I write select star from student, you see they are according to the order of roll number. Suppose I want to change it according to the order of S name. What I will write? We will write select star from student order by, this is the command, order by S name. What happens? See, actually it gets a dictionary order according to name of the student. So I can do this. The table's records have not been ordered, only it is being shown ordered on the screen. The table's data is as it is. It has not been shuffled or shifted. Nothing has been done. It is only being shown on the screen for our convenience. Now I have done this in ascending dictionary order. Can I do it according to descending dictionary order? See, I'll write here DESC. Let us see what happens. See, order changed. Can I do it for date of birth? Why not? I can do it for date of birth also. See, I have done some error. See, I have written SNAME DOB. SNAME DOB would not work. I would have to remove SNAME and I would have to write here SDOB. It works. Now it is according to the order of date of birth. Can I order this according to marks. Why not? According to marks also, according to S address also, according to admission number also. We can use any given field. So I think students have understood what order by means. It sorts the table while it shows, but the original table remains as it is. Only the display order changes. So students, we have learnt a lot in this given video. This is also 40 minutes. And in the next video, that is practicals on SQL commands part 3, we will learn few more things. So students, we stop our video here only. We will continue to use this given method of understanding SQL commands even in our next videos. So thanks a lot for today. Have a very nice day. Thank you.